Greetings, our lesson for today is about being dependable, responsible, brought to you by Dr. George Tanis. Make sure to answer the questions at the end and follow the instructions for submission. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have varying pasts. While some people come from loving homes and wonderful families equipped with an abundance of financial resources, some people don't get these luxuries. Many people come from broken homes, and they know what it's like to live with abusive family members without a roof over their heads. But is everyone who has known luxury from the very start able to make the most out of their lives? Do all of these people make it to the list of successful people? The answer is no. Not everyone makes it to the list. But many people who never had a decent home during childhood sit on top of this list. And there is one factor that creates the difference between being successful and being left behind. It is the courage of being dependable. Who are those who are dependable? They take care of their parents, their kids, their spouse, their house, their car, etc. But that's not the kind of dependability we are talking about. We are talking about having the courage to take control of your life, to take responsibility for yourself, to take the steering wheel, stop making excuses, stop drifting through life and decide where you want to go. We are often told to take responsibility for our actions and our life. For every aspect of life, be it career, interpersonal relationships, health, and many more, the same mantras are recited over and over again. So, the question is, why is taking responsibility for our actions so important? What difference does it make? For all living beings, suffering is inevitable. We all suffer at some point in our lives. While some of us prefer to fret and shed tears, some of us confront and address the situation and take command. If we all are made up of the same combination of flesh and blood, why is it that some of us, under the same circumstances, break down and some of us stand strong? When you take responsibility for your actions, you take control. Instead of going back and forth and drifting through life, you become more self-aware, more self-sufficient, you make more informed decisions. You become responsible for yourself and you set better goals. Instead of relying on others or waiting for things to happen for you, you cultivate courage, make firm commitments, you find your purpose, and you lead a meaningful life. You understand that if you won't do anything for yourself, no one else will. Creating your ideal life is only up to you. Consequences of not being dependable: it's easy to find people who can't commit to anything. They always avoid making decisions, and even if they manage to, they find it incredibly hard to stick to them, and they depend on others to point them in the right direction. 3 of 5. Why do you think people do that? Because it's easy to blame people when things go wrong. It's easy to tell people that it was someone else's fault, and it's easy to play the victim card. But is it all worth it? The answer is absolutely no. When you choose to point fingers and blame others for your suffering, you declare yourself a victim. You declare that you are a weak one. You give up your power to do something about the situation, and you wave the white flag. You declare your own defeat. Think about it. Does implying that you are miserable because of somebody make sense? Well, we know in some cases, you'll tell us that it does. But let's explore further with an example. A lady gets into a relationship and finds out her boyfriend is abusive. He abuses her verbally, physically, as well as emotionally. The lady decides to put up with his behavior. She thinks that if she stops provoking him, he'll transform into the loving and caring boyfriend she always longed for. Do you think this attitude will help her? No, absolutely not. In fact, it will make her situation even worse. She is just finding excuses to keep her relationship alive. She is just putting up with everything because deep down, she is afraid. But imagine if she decides to take responsibility for her life. Imagine if she starts seeking courage instead of excuses. Do you think her situation will improve and she'll be able to find happiness? Many times, we point fingers at people and we blindly put blame on them. We fail to realize that we always have a choice. Responding to a situation in a responsible manner is also a crucial choice. It's a part of being responsible for yourself. When you take responsibility, you choose strength over weakness, guts over fear. You choose firm decisions over excuses. You strive to work hard every day. You start taking good care of yourself and you treat yourself better. You become more aware of yourself and you discover your strengths. How to become more responsible? Many people drift through life, never knowing their ideal destination. When they run into a complex situation, they complain and put blame on others. Taking responsibility of your life is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Taking responsibility not only empowers you, but also gives you a direction. 4 of 5. Here are some steps that can help you become more responsible. Stop making excuses and blaming others. When we make excuses and put the blame on others, we cripple ourselves. Even when we have the power to bring change, we simply refuse to do anything about the situation. Next time you feel like making an excuse or putting blame on others, stop for a moment and think about it. Think about how the situation could have been different. Set firm goals. Setting long-term, as well as short-term goals, can help you measure your progress as well as your growth. Setting goals and writing them down is one of the most effective ways of giving yourself the right direction. Create a plan. It's always easy to follow step-by-step instructions. Imagine if our lives also came with a manual. The sad thing is, it doesn't. The good thing is, we can always create one. Creating a plan helps you see the path to your goals. But don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. If plan A doesn't work, there are 25 more letters. Believe in yourself. One of the most crucial steps is to believe in yourself. Talk to yourself positively, say uplifting words, and remind yourself how valuable and worthy you are, and how valuable you can be to others once you achieve your goals. The essay. Please write an essay, up to 2 pages, about a past experience you or someone you know had when you were not responsible. Tell us in detail who, what, when, where, why, to whom, the time, the place of what you did, the outcome. And tell us in detail how you could have changed that use from what you learned today, so the outcome would have been good. Internalize this lesson. Make it become a part of you. Share your story in the blog section. Our advice is for you to practice being responsible for at least a week. Tell others around you to point out any event in which you didn't. Have them hold you accountable. Visit the forum and do a confession. What is a confession? A confession is when you've displayed a wrong behavior and were held accountable by one of your family members, peers, or even by you. Visit the forum and tell us about it. We will give you feedback. Make sure to watch the video about confession for more details. Furthermore, become a member of 5 of 5 the forum and give feedback to others. That's how you gain practice in becoming a certified life coach. Read the article. Time for introspection. Please answer the following. 1. Do you blame other people when things in your life go wrong? 2. Do you find yourself making excuses when it comes to making important decisions? 3. Would you call yourself a responsible person? 4. What responsibilities have you taken to make your life better? 5. What are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Have you created a plan to achieve your goals?